Hello, everyone, and welcome to Off the Shelf, a show where we take things off the shelf and talk about them because everything has a story. If you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Rick. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We would really, really appreciate it. Joining me on the shelf, as always, you may have seen him on the finale of Picard Season 3, Captain Joe Dove. How are you, Joe?
Hey, what's going on? How are you, Rick?
I'm good, mate. Good. And how are you?
I'm great. I'm
Right.
emotionally recovering from the finale of all things Star Trek Picard, the TNG crew. I mean, I can go on all day, but that's
I
not
know
why we're
you
here.
can, Joe.
That's another show
Exactly.
altogether.
And joining us for the first time on the show, and we are very excited to have him on the show. Welcome, Chuck G. How are you, Chuck?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, you are very, very welcome. Joe, I know we have got a jam-packed show today, so I
Yes.
guess let's get straight into it, mate.
All right, here we go. Gotta love those bumpers, man.
Me too.
Got it. All right, I know you've got a massive collection, Joe, but sorry, Chuck. So what have you got for us, Chuck? Talk to us.
So kind of a little bit of everything. So people were asking me, like, whenever we were kind of going through and trying to take some pictures, my biggest collections are, Ninja Turtles is kind of my primary one. Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin is where I kind of stay with there. Anything beyond Mighty Morphin, I'm a little hazy on. So I know as far as the collecting goes, I mostly just collect the things that I enjoyed when I was a kid. So Spider-Man kind of is a big one there. I'm a big Marvel DC guy, kind of split about the middle. Like I'm not a fanboy of one or the other, kind of like a little bit everything. But when it comes to Marvel, Spider-Man's my guy. And when it comes to DC, I'm definitely more of a Batman fan. So everybody kind of gets their own independent, shelf and area, and just kind of keeping the collections all kind of condensed there. So But
Nice.
I think we have. How do we do the pictures? Is that how they?
Yeah, we can do that first.
Joe.
Yeah,
Let's
here we
have
go.
some
All right.
pictures. Let's see what we got. Oh wow!
All right. So also too. I mean, we weren't talking about this, but I'm a big fan of Kevin Smith and Jay and Silent Bob. But this is a large collection that I've amassed over quite a bit of time here. I started collecting his stuff probably back in 2001, I'd say, probably 2001. And then they started coming out with those like in action figures and things like that. I started collecting the pops. But kind of a mixture of in and out as far as in-box, out-of-box things. The cool little feature that I have there is if you look in the back there's a Gatorade bottle. If you're a fan of Kevin Smith, that Gatorade bottle is actually from the Quick Stop. Back in 2005, I made a pilgrimage.
No way.
Yeah, I went out to the. I'm sorry.
That's very cool.
Yeah, yes, I went out there, but the downside is that is a at this point coming up on a 20-year-old bottle of Gatorade.
Oh.
So it's pretty gross. So,
do not drink.
But yeah, so and a couple of those. Yeah, I waited in line for the like the Blunt Man and Chronic set and stuff like that. So and a couple of those have actually came from the actual stash, his store up in New Jersey.
Yeah,
so I was actually quite a bit of a fan of his stuff. So when I kind of put it all together there, and there's even more of that I haven't even put out yet. But that's kind of everything kind of condensed. What I need are bigger shelves. So.
Joe, can you just go back to that photo? I just noticed something. Sorry, Chuck. I want to ask you.
Sure.
You got a little cup on the top of that pump coat there.
Yes.
What is that little cup? What's the deal with that?
So the significance of the cup is if you've seen Mallrats, Brody, who is played by Jason Lee, that is one of his signature little things is he carries around a little Dixie cup. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. I love that. That is awesome. Very
so
cool.
A few people have pointed that out, and it is one of those little subtle, like whenever I found that cup and I felt like it was perfect for the little setup there. So he probably should be over next to Brody, but it's okay. So.
It's like a little Easter egg there. That's awesome.
Yeah, and a couple people have pointed that out in this video, so that's really funny.
What else we got, Joe?
All right, so we've got this one really stands out to me.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay, so funny story with that. This is going to be kind of I guess a little bit of a crossover because you guys are asking like where I got it, things like that. So this will be a teaser to where I was able to complete the set of that because My Pet Monster I did not have when I was a kid. That was one of those toys that I always wanted, but I was never able to acquire either. My parents didn't have a ton of money, so it was one of those things. So I'd always kind of been on the hunt for it. I go to a place out here. There's a Goodwill outlet store, and we call it the Bins. And I what it ended up luckily finding the handcuffs. So the handcuffs are one of the pieces that are usually the pieces that are expensive. They're broken, they're falling off, they're in terrible shape as far as the paint goes.
Yep.
So finding a My Pet Monster with a complete handcuffs is pretty rare and fairly expensive.
Wow.
But what I was luckily able to find the cuffs at the Bins, held on to those for a long time, and then I was able to be very, very selective on the actual My Pet Monster that I bought off of line. So I ended up getting that one off Macari. Now, the thing is, when you guys are, if anybody's out there hunting for one of those, the big thing that you want to keep in mind is the hands and the feet. They were a different type of material, and you'll have to make sure that if any of your viewers are ever ordering anything like this online, make sure they get really good pictures of the hands and the feet because they will get flaky and that paint will come off and it'll look really bad. And some of them will try to hide that fact of them being cracked and crumbly and things like that. So luckily with this one, there is hardly any damage to it. The down caveat when I bought it was it didn't have the handcuffs. So I was able to get a really good deal on that and be able to combine it with the handcuffs that I'd already purchased to give
you're
myself
obviously
a complete.
smart shopper. Like that's
I try. I was very frugal. So.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna roll to the video. The one thing that I was super excited to see, and that is our dear Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yes, I have to push the play button.
Yeah.
And that's all we can play because of copyright issues.
And then we can mute it.
Yeah,
you're good. So I can talk over that if you're...
Go. You start talking, Chuck.
All right, that sounds good. So now that is a lot of a mixture of things that I have had from my childhood and ones that I've recently collected. I'm still trying to recollect basically the entire original run of those figures. Some of them are obviously very, very rare. So the big ones that people always point out to is the android body that's in the back corner there for Krang.
Yep.
Krang, yeah.
That was my original one from when I was a kid. The reason that he is so grimy is he came down recently from my, I'd say recently in the past, like maybe, 6-8 months. He came down in a box from my mom's attic and I'd forgotten about it, so I was able to put him back up there. I still got to do a little bit more scrubbing on him, but the stickers are still in really good shape, which is good. But yeah, that was one of my original pieces. And then if you go to the middle there, the cute little story with that Raphael that's in the middle in that plastic case missing an arm. The funny thing is, so that was the very first Ninja Turtle that I ever got. My grandmother bought me that from a Kmart back in the 90s or probably the 89, 90 or whatever it was. And that's what set off literally my obsession with Ninja Turtles. So that was the very first thing I'd ever seen. I'd never even seen the show at that point. But I got the toy, was obsessed with it. And so it kind of stays in its own little protected area, just to kind of, if it was a Scrooge McDuck, that would be my dime, so to speak.
So the big question is, how did he lose his arm?
Oh, I have no idea. It is long gone. I know that I used to leave these in the yard, and then my dad would come in after he, went out and cut the grass, and he'd hand me pieces.
The lawnmower man.
And then those characters became battle damaged. So,
exactly.
It worked out.
So what else we got there? Oh wow.
So yeah, so a lot of those pieces are so the collector case I actually found at a thrift store. That was not my original one. But I was able to add that on. There's a couple of the movie figures there, and there is a Shredder there that's missing a hand. That did again. I'm keeping the theme going. But
I would say Shredder took Raphael's arm, and then Raphael took Shredder's
that's what
hand.
you could say.
That's what I would say.
There it is.
Man,
I like your canon. I will take that.
Yeah.
But the true story is that is one of those what is it? It's not Super 7, but it's those like ones they've been putting out at Walmart. Then they have all the detachable pieces. So my kid was playing around detaching arms and things like that, and I can't find half of them now. So there's a pile of Ninja Turtle accessories, and it's probably in that bag somewhere. So
wow.
But
what's in that collector's case? Is there something in there, or is it just?
It's empty. That one personally is empty right now. But inside there was just a like a plastic tray that would hold the individual people. And then they would stack. So one would hold 6, the other would hold 6. So the two would be back on top of each other. So, and it would hold like accessories and stuff. I don't really remember us ever using those. I mean, I know they sold them, and I know people bought them, but I don't remember anybody actually carrying them over to their friend's house. We always just took them in like lunch boxes or bags or something. So,
So are you only missing Master Splinter?
So that basically from that little setup there from the original run. Because I've got Bebop Rocksteady, I've got a Krang, I've got a Krang body, I've got my.
You got Casey Jones.
Yep, I got my Casey Jones. I need a Rat King. I'll definitely need to add that to the collection. Leatherhead I've got, but I don't have him on the shelf there. So I think we've got a Metalhead somewhere. We got to find him. So a lot of this, that's what it's kind of the if anybody ever joins any of my TikTok lives or anything like that, you guys will see like it is. A lot of them, I have a lot of Doom piles right now. So a lot of piles of things that have still got to go up on shelves. So
Gotcha. All right. Well,
what else we got, Joe?
Let me go to these other photos. This is the next one, the Power Rangers collection.
Oh yeah. Thank you. So this is like a mismatch of stuff that, again, like the stuff that I'd had. So the Megazord in the back corner, the original Dragon or Dino Megazord back there, that's my original one from when I was a kid. The core Rangers set, so your yellow, blue, pink, red, and black, those were all of my originals. The blue one, it's weird. He has a Kung Fu grip. That's the only one that I was able to find when I was a kid. But if you look over there by the white Tiger Zord, I found just recently at a thrift store, I found a new one that is the original hands, not the Kung Fu grip version. So he'll get added in just as to kind of complete the set, but like it is kind of fun to still have my original one. So, and then a lot of those have been just collected from flea markets and thrift stores, just trying to complete. Again, because I kind of just focus on Mighty Morphin stuff, so like that original run of figures was always kind of the best for me. So
wow, and you said they're original for you when you were a kid.
Yeah,
so they're in really good condition. For the age of them, like that's phenomenal.
Yeah, I was so. I mean, if we go into like a personal side of the story, like there are some things that I kept really good care of, but there were if they were. If I had full control of it, I should say. So I was kind of OCD about my things. I even had, when I was a kid, I have a picture that I'll have to find of the shelf that I had when I was, 8, 9, 10 years old that looked like that. It had toys on it that were organized like a museum-y type display. And so I've always kind of been going that direction as far as wanting to display things. So I really did take really good care of my stuff. I didn't have any siblings. I grew up as an only child.
Nice.
So
all the toys are mine.
So I didn't, nothing got broken unless it was me. And I pretty much, of course I made mistakes and, I have,
as we all do.
Yeah. If you drive back, if you drive back to the house that I grew up in right outside of Huntington, West Virginia, the house is still there. I bet you if you go up on top of the roof, there is a Terminator figure still up there. that I threw up there in the
one of my
90s.
Transformers is still in my old house in New York. So I know all about that. I know all about that. All right, and before we go into our next section,
now you're talking.
Now,
Yeah.
I think Rick might know this character.
No.
Sure.
No. It doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah.
Wow, that is awesome. What do we got?
So I've always been a big fan of Spider-Man. I think that, and I mean, that character has always resonated with. It resonates with a lot of people, and I think for the same reason. We were all the nerdy kid. We all got bullied. We were, maybe a little smarter than some things in certain ways, but I always kind of play it back to like the Simpsons when Milhouse is like, "I'm not a nerd. Nerds are smart." So
that's great.
But so I always try to kind of play with that. But I mean, he was always the outcast. He was always the weird one. So I think that always kind of resonated with me. To be able to wake up and still be able to be myself, but like have powers and be able to, things like that. So plus he just looks cool, know. But then I have kind of a mismatch of there's some Spider Hulk. I love Spider Ham. I think he's an amazing character. I even just yeah. I recently just got a Spider Ham comic. I was actually very excited about that.
That's right, because he was in the multiverse that they did, and then they built a whole comic around him. That's right.
Yeah, it was like this weird, like Peter Porker and and like Captain America was a bunny, and it's all these weird
animal
things.
Avengers, like yeah. Oh, that's
so. Now, so a lot of these though aren't really that old. A lot of them are as you can see, kind of newer figures. There's some Mighty Mugs back there, if you remember the Mighty Mugs.
Oh wow, yeah.
So those were like the pre-Funkos,
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
But yeah.
Is that a baseball that's in the little cube there?
It is a baseball, yes. That came from Universal Studios.
Oh,
okay. Oh wow.
So I didn't get it from there. I got it at a thrift store, but it says Universal Studios on it.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's cool.
So, and it has that like, anything that had that like the jagged 90s font to it. I really dug that.
You really dug that. That's your era, the 90s. That's awesome. Cool. Have we got anything else, Joe?
That's the last of it.
That's it. Wow. All right, let's get into the next segment, Joe.
All right, here we go.
So I know you briefly touched on it, Chuck. You were talking about you go to thrift shops and you've had some in your, I guess, past. Do you go anywhere else? Where do you normally get them your stuff from? Because this stuff's quite rare. So.
Oh yeah. And so around here, even there's a lot of collectors. So you have to be quick. There's. Yeah, there's several resale shops around the area, and they send all their little minions out to, all the thrift stores, and you'll get there right when they open, and there'll be a line of people, So, right now, my biggest I'd say my best source is what I was saying earlier, the Goodwill outlets, the bins, and it's kind of a weird thing to explain. So it is a thrift store, but it is basically what hasn't sold at a Goodwill store. So there's three kinds of things that are in this outlet store. One is they do take donations, so people can just go up and donate things. Now a lot of that stuff, it's all sorted. So a lot of times they'll grab anything that's worth money and they will pull it out of the bin and they'll put it onto their e-commerce site and they'll try to sell it online. People, things slip through the cracks. We've been finding a lot of toys and things like that from there. Most of the things that you saw on that shelf, just in general, that I was like, I didn't have it from home. Most of that stuff does come from the bins. And it's just because I'm trying to save as much money as possible. And the way that it works is like you go in, it's $1.59 a pound. So you just dig up everything that you'd like. And then once you've made your final selection, you just take it up. There's a big scale, and they just put it up on the scale and weigh it. And
wow. Okay.
it's fantastic. So I mean, you go up there and you'll buy. I'm trying to look and see if I could find like something that would be a good reference. But like you'll buy a toy that would cost you, $20 at a store, or even $10 at a thrift store, will cost you 50 cents or $1, depending on the weight.
Wow.
So
no way.
Yeah,
that's a huge chain difference.
So there was, when I was there the other day, but there's a big downside, is that it's a first come first serve. I mean, you're just digging along with everybody else. You got to wear gloves because there's broken glass, gross stuff. But when you're digging, I mean, you can uncover so much things that people weren't even like, they didn't know that there was stuff piled on top of other stuff.
Yeah.
So the other day we were there and somebody found a bunch of Megazord toys.
Wow.
But the thing is, you don't know if it was complete. And he found most of the Megazord that we showed earlier, but he was missing the blue. Yeah, so he had most of that, but he was missing the blue Triceratops leg piece, because I had found that in the bin that they changed out 45 minutes prior.
Oh wow!
So the way that that all works is you don't know what you're getting, and you don't know if you're going to find a complete thing or a broken thing, or luckily I'm a nice guy and I had extra, so I was like, here, I will let you complete yours. So I gave him the piece, just the because again, I already have one, so I didn't even need it, so. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things that if you can try to make friends, but it at the end of the day, I mean, you can find some pretty amazing stuff for really, really cheap. So,
so do you go to any toy cons or anything like that in your area? Do you guys?
Yeah, we have. We do have the Steel City Con up here in Pittsburgh, and it falls under that same umbrella of a lot of the. It's not as big as like the big ones. It's not even as big as like Chicago or anything. But it's definitely as far as a minor city goes, it's our biggest one in the area. So we do have a few like little local toy stores, but most of the time I go to just like flea markets. And I find that when it comes to flea market shopping, there's two kinds of people. There are the older people that they have toys, but that's just because they don't know what they are, and they're raiding their attic or their kids' attics or whatever, their old kids' collections. They're selling off all this stuff, and you're able to get a good deal on it. Then there's the other people who think that just because it has a Nintendo logo on it, it's worth $100.
Yeah. Nice.
No, it's not.
Nice. So you really got to know what you're looking for, I guess.
Right.
You don't want to get sucked into that and go, I'll pay $100 for that Nintendo that doesn't even work.
It's crazy. It's always sports games. It's always like they have Nintendo games or Sega Genesis games, and it's like I'm like, oh, what do you got? And it's like Madden 96, and I'm like, I don't care.
I'll take it. No.
$1, Bob.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. So do you guys like so you don't buy nothing off of eBay or anything like that? Is there something that's, if you see like a really rare gem that you want, do you do anything like that?
Oh yeah, I like the My Pet Monster I ended up getting off of eBay. There have been a few things that I've purchased, but it's just I'm trying not to spend as much money as I was, especially after you have the kid. Like, before you have a kid, you're just like, I got adult money. I'm just
we can raid.
I know. And then you have a kid, and you're just like, I need this for college. Hang on. So. So I mean, but yeah, I've absolutely. A couple of my big purchases have been the My Pet Monster. I bought if you're familiar with the Aqua Teen Hunger Force TV show.
Oh yeah, a burger, the fries, the drinks.
Yeah. They had I bought it's called actually I have it here. I'll show you real quick.
Oh, show us. Yes.
So this is this is the mega. Oops, sorry, almost fell. This is the Mega Meat Wad.
Oh, wow.
That's so cool.
Awesome.
Yes.
So Yeah, this is from the show. Now, I paid up on this. I bought him out of the box. In the box, he will run you about $300. Out of the box, he will run you. I paid about $125 for this. But
good. That is
it's
so cool.
Yeah. So
wow,
it was definitely
now I know what to look for when I go to because there's a ton of thrift stores here, so now I know what to look for.
$300.
Well,
yeah, hopefully there's
you just have to get really lucky with the thrift stores. So
you get gems there, that's for sure.
Oh, well, you've kind of inspired me because me and Jace are actually going to a toy convention tomorrow here in Australia. So it's a big one that they do every year. So I picked up some good comics last year and that. So I'm kind of in the market to have a look and see what they've got. So you've really inspired me to have a look at some stuff. So I'm going to keep my eye out.
That's awesome.
Oh no, it's good. It's awesome.
That's awesome. Are you on TikTok or anything?
I am. Yes, we are. Yes.
Okay. Because I know Joe is. I'll have to follow you too.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, obviously the link is.
I'll link you guys.
We run a different channel as well. We got another channel that we do as well.
Yeah, we both have our own channels, and then we come together for Spectrum. So
nice. I love it.
Yeah, love it.
Collaboration.
That's it. We get to meet everyone from around the world. I love it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Cool. What else we got?
He's Australian. If you didn't.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that.
We were talking. He goes, I noticed your accent, and I'm like, so if you don't understand what I'm saying,
I told him. I said that the extent of my knowledge of Australia is limited to that one episode of The Simpsons and Crocodile Dundee.
Oh, there you go. Most Americans.
I'm sorry. I also know that everything in Australia can kill you there.
Oh, there you go. He's got officially everything there.
Yeah, officially everything.
Yeah,
this pen will kill you.
It's poisonous.
What else we got? Let's go to the next segment, Joe.
All right, here we go. Flex.
So Chuck, you did touch on it briefly, but why? I guess Ninja Turtles and Spider-Man and all that. I mean, what's the significance and the story behind that? For you?
Overall, I mean, it's I'm kind of in this mode now as an adult and as a collector. I just turned 40, so I'm kind of also in that way of like I want to I don't know. I'm trying to I don't want to say reclaim my childhood. Yeah. But it's more or less just embracing the part of it that I feel like I remember getting made fun of in 4th grade for liking Power Rangers.
Oh,
and it's like, we were in 4th grade. You're how old? 10?
Yeah.
And it's like, let kids be kids. And a lot of this is it's basically just like me trying to just have because this is what makes me happy. I know that for a lot of people, it's, I kind of masked that for a while and because it wasn't cool to be a nerd. And it's still not like it's I don't care about being cool or anything anymore. But there was that time frame of my life where you want to be accepted, you want to have, that camaraderie, and you think that the way to do that is to fit into what society tells you to do. And so, we kind of all did that. And then now that I have my own house, I have my own space, it was kind of just like this, like I can do whatever I want. And why would I not want, I'm basically building the room that I would have dreamed to have as a kid. And for some people that is a sports, themed room. It's, a bunch of TVs and a pool table and, and so you can have a bar with all your buddies and all that stuff. So that's for some people, but me, it's like, I want somebody to come in here and be like, oh, do you want to play Transformers? Do you want to play Legos? Do you want to play Nintendo? Like we can just literally, you can walk into here and it would just be like walking through a time portal into the 90s and 80s and just like where you can go, this is the time when because now it's like the world just kind of sucks.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So you want to this is kind of like the way to kind of escape from me. So when I was sitting there, thinking up, I'm like, well, why do I buy this? And she's like, oh, I have depression. That's why I buy this stuff.
Jeez.
No, I mean in a joking way. I'm
No,
like sending you a
Well,
hug.
yeah, I know. I'm not trying to bring the room down.
Oh, there we go.
Like,
Cut
and
that
we're
one
out.
out, Joe.
Yeah.
But that's a common answer for a lot of people, though. Is more that nostalgia thing for them, and a lot of people though we ask that question always say the same thing. It's they were bullied or taunted when they were a kid for liking something that wasn't in the norm back then, and now everyone just embraces it. And so I'm going to be there in probably about 48 hours so we can go in your
come on. I got 2 controllers, we're good.
There you go. Yeah.
So I recently just acquired a power pad for Nintendo.
Oh,
Do you remember the power pad?
I remember
that.
Yeah.
So
look at it.
I'm still on a quest to find a power glove. One day I will own a power glove.
So there is a video game store, Pikachu's You or something like that, in Jersey on Route 46.
Yeah.
They have 2 of them.
Oh,
they're asking a lot. And they also have
asking for
Sega Genesis Mega Man game.
Yeah.
And they're asking for, I think, $500 for the Mega Man game, because that's like a super rare Sega Genesis game.
Because that was mostly a Nintendo game, I believe.
Yeah, it's mostly Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then the Power Glove was like $600.
The glove on its own.
The glove on its own, yeah.
Wow.
They both work. So like, oh no, it works. You want to see it? It's like, nah, I don't want you to charge me.
I mean, using the term that it works, I mean, it barely worked out of the box. I mean, nobody could really use that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it works. And I'm like, well, does it come with something to work it for me? Because I don't know how to work it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, good
How much were they when they first came out, those power gloves?
When they first came out?
Jeez.
Not that much.
Curious.
When they first came out, maybe 100, because it was an accessory.
Yeah.
The last time that I remember seeing it up in Pittsburgh here, we had a gaming store that went out of business a couple years ago, right around the time of the pandemic. And the last time that I'd seen one, they had it for like $250. So apparently it's shot up.
So when it came out originally, it was $75, which is equivalent to $155. So
wow.
And then if you try to buy one, if you get it in a box, it's $300. And then if you get it in the original box, then it's $599.
Wow.
This must be an original box then, the other one that you were talking about, Joe. That apparently works.
Yeah, it works. The guy had it in the box and everything, but like it's open. They're all open.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the wildest thing is if you get the Power Glove set, which is like the stuff that the power pad, the gun and everything, that's $10,000.
No way.
I kid you not. I'll share with you.
No.
Are you serious? That can't be right.
I mean, I believe you, but that is crazy.
I kid you not.
Really?
We're doing real-time searching on Off the Shelf, ladies and gentlemen.
Never been done before.
This is the first time. There it is.
Wow.
That's US.
Yeah.
You convert that to Australian dollars.
How much is that in Australian?
Well, it's 10 grand US. You're easily looking.
There you go.
What? There you go. What?
Well, I have the pad.
Yeah, so that's everything all together.
Does that mean that's worth 2 grand?
Yeah. $9,633. So it's about 10 grand.
Justify all that. Wow.
Right?
You got to look up sold comps for that though, because that's just somebody has a pipe dream.
Yeah,
I mean,
surely,
but he's still got everything, and he's got the
Yeah, that's really cool though to have all the.
It looks actually in pretty good condition,
and it's in really good condition. Look how clean that is.
You know what? It may be.
Because I mean, when I was doing the little track and field thing,
that might have been like dead stock. He might have just like found that unopened.
Really?
Look at the box.
I don't know.
Look at the box.
Clean that box is.
Yeah. There's no damage to it whatsoever. Wow, that's pretty okay.
That's crazy. Like the box isn't even creased up or anything.
No, and everything's still in the packaging.
Oh, he's got the gun and everything. Wow, on the
That's
books.
why he's asking so much for, because he rarely finds that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild.
All right.
Well, now you know what to look for in your next hunt. You get them all together, and boom! All right. Well, the mortgage is paid for, honey.
You should buy it, Joe. Buy it.
No.
So, Chuck, the question I've got for you is: do you have, out of your whole collection, do you have one piece that is your favorite piece?
Well,
Have you got
outside
any
of the
that
My
comes to
Pet
mind?
Monster, which is I have
It's
two,
phenomenal.
which I can show
Oh.
you. Hang on.
Yeah. Oh, he's got two, Joe.
Oh,
He's got two.
I've got two as well.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen.
It didn't take long, right?
It didn't take long. It only took 35 minutes for Joe to make a joke.
I'm sorry, didn't mean to leave you.
You're all
No,
good.
all good, man.
All right, so this is a so just pull this up here.
Oh wow, the Rancor from Star Wars. That's awesome. I've never seen that before.
Oh my god.
That's incredible.
Yeah, this one.
You can shove Luke in there and everything.
Yeah, actually his so
Oh wow.
his mouth opens.
Sick.
I had Jar Jar Binks in him over on my shelf.
That's proper.
So it looked like he was eating Jar Jar.
That works.
So the cool story behind this one is this is one of those that like I'd always wanted it as a kid, never got it. My friends always had it, never got it.
Wow.
And I kept seeing it. There was this one at a local like toy store or whatever.
Yeah.
And my wife kept seeing me like, comment on it and things like that. And then one Christmas, I got him. She got it for me for Christmas.
Oh, what a lady.
Yeah. Oh, she's awesome. Well, she was the one that for my birthday just found me this.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Green Ranger and
which is the original 1994
toy business.
Yeah, this is the one that the helmets flipped around.
Yeah, he was the face, and then it was the guy.
Yeah,
the packaging's good.
Yeah, she's a keeper.
Yeah.
Is she into this type of stuff as well, Chuck, your wife, or is she
a little bit?
Yeah.
She's more into anime. That would be her thing.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah.
And she does more like books, but she doesn't really collect like toys and stuff much.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
And then as far as the other thing that's because I had to put that one in because that is like the thing that she got me, which I love. It's like one of my,
yeah.
But like I did buy this one for myself. I have
that's
so
awesome.
And this is another one of those that I always wanted it as a kid, never had it, and then was finally able to reclaim it or to finally claim it. So but that's awesome. So this is probably one of my favorite toys to have. So
very cool.
That is very cool.
When the Green Ranger came, he like jumped in there Megazord and whipped everybody. I was like, oh damn.
That was the thing, like when it came down to it, like with my kid, he is super into Power Rangers too.
Oh nice.
And they a few years ago they put out Imagine X. If you guys remember Imagine X.
Yeah.
They put out a bunch of Ninja Turtle figures that are, the smaller sizes.
Yep.
And he's really into those. And we have like the Zordon set and everything.
Oh,
it's so cool.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
So
wow, man, that is so cool. See, I love that. I love it. I love the stories. I love it. Yeah, that's what it's all about. So when is it your son?
Yes. Yeah, his name's Oliver.
When Oliver grows up, you're going to have all these cool stuff that you could probably pass on to him, and then he will go do what he wants. That's just, I love it. That's awesome, man. So cool.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, Chuck. You have got an amazing, and this is just scratching the surface of what you've got to
yeah. So you're going to have to come back.
We literally, I haven't even, behind me is all ad icon toys.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So like your McDonald's and things like that. So
yeah, man.
They're McCheese.
Oh yeah.
McCheese.
They're McCheese.
So just as a little thing so I love the Grimace.
Oh,
big fan of the Grimace. So all the other characters, like you got Early Bird, you got the Hamburglar, you got all the other stuff. Do you know what the Grimace is?
No.
What?
He is a taste bud.
Oh,
wow.
No way!
That is amazing. All these years, I'm 41 years old, and I didn't know that.
Oh, if it makes you feel any better, I just found that out like a year ago.
Oh, okay, great. I do feel better now.
That's what the nub's on him, and he's supposed to be the taste buds on your tongue. So
all these years.
It's pretty disgusting if you think about it.
Learn something here and off the shelf.
Why is it? Why is
there
it
you
purple?
go.
There you
Why
go. All right.
So, thank
oh
you.
my god, I didn't know that. Now I know.
It's so crazy.
They just blew my mind then.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I was 8 years old when I found out what the fuck Grimace actually was.
Yeah, and I didn't make that up. That's verifiable.
Yeah,
we're all in our 40s and we just found out that
yeah, exactly.
fucking Grimace was a taste bud. Anyway, awesome. I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Chuck, thank you so much. Joe, anything that you want to add before we wrap this up, mate? Do you want to tell the viewers where we are? And
be sure to check us out on all the wonderful things. You can check me out at Disc Dungeon CQ. Now it's Joe Dove CQ as my name here. And that's on TikTok. You can find Spectrum Sanctorum on YouTube, Facebook, and the Twitters. We tweet. Lots of fun doing that. You can find our boy Rick at Pop Culture Spread on the TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all that fun stuff. And Chuck, I know we find you on TikTok, but are you on all the socials there, or?
The only thing that I'm also on is YouTube.
YouTube.
So,
okay,
and it's just the same as my TikTok name, Chucky Cheesy. So CheeEesy.
All right, perfect. So I will follow you there.
Fantastic. We are definitely going to be following up. Yeah, man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
we are definitely going to get him back on again, Joe. Because
absolutely, we can have him as like a reoccurring guest because he looks like a collection to die for. So,
this was a blast. I love it. I love hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, this is awesome.
And also, Joe, we do our merch store.
We do have a merch store, ladies and gentlemen. As you can tell, we're not just twins, from different sides of the planet. We have merch that we wear to let you know what you're watching, and that's off the shelf.
So I'm Arnie and you're DeVito?
No. Wait, how tall are you?
6 foot. So
I guess we're both Annie DeVito then.
Go on, Joe. Keep going, Joe.
That's awesome. Do you guys have snapbacks?
Yeah, I don't.
Do you guys have snapback hats on your site?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I was like,
I'm sorry. I said it so fast.
Yeah. We do. Yeah.
Wait, that term's new to me.
Oh,
is it?
I guess it's a Midwest thing.
The hat.
Yeah, this hat. It makes sense. Snapbacks.
It makes
we
sense,
never call them that. We just call them.
Yeah.
And
we call
once
them
again,
ball caps over here in New York.
Oh yeah. I mean, they still are ball caps, but like. Yeah, but I specifically like the ones that have the plastic.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
Well, they call it a trucker hat as well. Is that a different?
Oh yeah. Well, the trucker hats usually are like mesh on the side.
Right.
Yeah, they'll have like the meshy stuff.
The sun from hitting them when they're driving.
So
the mesh is so that the hair can breathe. Yeah.
See, you learned something new again.
Yeah. All right.
Shelf, eh?
Look at this.
Snapback hats. There you go.
Snapbacks.
No, we've got hats on and merchandise on all our shows that we do on Spectrum. So
yeah.
Check it out.
So, check
That'd be
it out.
awesome. Thank you.
That's at spectrumsanctorum.net. So make sure you guys check that out.
Great name, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Place for everybody to come hang out in this sanctorum of wonders.
All the links are down below.
Yeah,
as well,
right.
Joe.
That's right. Yeah, you can.
Awesome.
Yep. All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chuck.
Thank
Again,
you.
you have an amazing collection. We will definitely get you back on the show because, like I said, I want to see the rest of your collection. Guys, just follow everyone. Guys, have a great time. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you all on the shelf next time. Bye for now.